Moments ago, the heads of the NTSB, the FAA, and the Army's Aviation Division were grilled on Capitol Hill about what caused the deadliest commercial plane crash in more than 2 decades. 67 people were killed back in January when an Army helicopter collided with an American Airlines passenger jet near Reagan National Airport.
Now, senators stressed how the disaster was preventable while noting that the NTSB found in the 3 years leading up to the crash, there were more than 15,000 incidents near the DC airport where a chopper got within 400 feet of a commercial plane. There were also 85 instances of helicopters coming in within 200 feet of commercial aircraft. I want to bring in CNN aviation correspondent Pete Muntean, who was at today's hearing. Pete, so how did the FAA respond to the fact that there have been so many close calls around Reagan Airport specifically?
Well, the FAA has really been in the hot seat here, Omar, along with the head of the Army's Aviation Division. After this hearing, I spoke with family members of those who died in the crash, and they say they really want to see substantive change come as a result of this. So do the senators who were involved here, who really pounded the FAA and Army representatives here, because this was the first time that they have appeared before lawmakers since that crash only 57 nights ago. The big thing here is that the NTSB essentially laid out that this was an accident waiting to happen. 15,000, as you mentioned, what the NTSB calls close proximity events over a period of 3 years. 85 of those incidents were very close calls, according to the NTSB. And I want you to listen now to Senator Maria Cantwell, who directed a lot of ire here at the FAA and its oversight.
Why did the FAA not act on 15,000 reports of dangerous proximity? How were these helicopter routes allowed to remain when alarm bells were literally going off in the towers? This lack of oversight must change.
Remember, all of that data that was uncovered by the NTSB came from publicly available data compiled by the FAA. So there was a lot of pressure here on the FAA, and I want you to listen now to the response from FAA Acting Administrator Chris Rocheleau. Listen.
So I'm very concerned about what we've learned in the subsequent investigation, both from the NTSB as well as our own reviews that we immediately took. Clearly, something was missed.
Clearly something was missed. That is the big soundbite takeaway from all of this. The NTSB says the warning signs were there. And I want to show you this graphic that was held up by NTSB Chair Jennifer Hamady, and it shows the close proximity of the design of the airspace that really led to this disaster. This is a side profile view of where helicopter Route 4 is. That is the route that the Black Hawk helicopter was on, and the approach path, the runway 33 at DCA. That's the descending diagonal line. That is the path that American Eagle Flight 5342 was coming in as it was coming into land. This shows that there was only 75 feet of clearance at best. That is what is underscored by NTSB Chair Jennifer Hamady. She really says there was essentially no margin for error here when it comes to the altitude. The FAA has announced some big changes at this hearing. They said they will mandate the use of ADS-B out. That makes things a little bit more clear for air traffic controllers and pilots to see where airplanes are with more clarity. Refreshes once a second as opposed to radar, which is 6 or 7 seconds. Also, the FAA said it has closed the helicopter route that was involved here, but the family members I talked to say it's only a half measure on the path to making sure this doesn't happen again.
All right. Pete Muntean, thank you so much for that.